Well, with that, let's shift to the stock that never fails to fall from the limelight. Justdial is the stock in focus. Ramkumar Krishnamachari, the CFO, has just joined us on the show. Well, Ramkumar, good morning. Revenue growth 15%, aided by upfront booking from the JD Omni. Can you tell us what will be a sustainable revenue growth going forward?
See, we believe that the steps that we have taken this year, starting this quarter, Q4, and we'll go over the next few quarters, that is the scaling up of the sales force, the entire marketing infrastructure, that will yield us results from Q3, Q4 onwards. So the full impact of that should be visible to us in FY18. As far as FY17 is concerned, we are hoping that we will be able to do better than FY16.
Well, the last time we spoke to you, you said you're targeting a 20 to 25% revenue growth for FY17. Would you maintain that?
I wouldn't want to comment or commit on that at this point of time. We believe that we will be doing better than FY16 in FY17 certainly. As I mentioned, whatever steps that we have taken, probably we should have taken at least a year back. But whatever we are taking right now should definitely yield us and get into the growth path of 20 plus percentage, maybe for Q4 onwards, at least on the run rate. And FY18 is going to be a great year for us based on the steps that we have taken now.
Okay, I guess you're betting on JD Omni in a big way. Your Q4 bookings were at 1,800 customers. What's your expected trajectory? What will be the, say, JD Omni revenues in FY17?
So look, honestly, right now we are focused on executing on JD Omni. We believe that there's also a lot of synergy between the search as well as Omni. And without getting into specifics of exact number, we believe that the run rate that we have, about 2,500 odd customers that we have booked over the 1.5 months. We should be able to continue that over the next 12 months or so on Omni. But having said that, we are formulating, the exact strategy, whether it is going to be, a separate sales force, unified sales force. As I mentioned, there's a lot of synergy between both Search and Search Plus from a SME perspective. And yeah, we are in the process of formulating that final strategy on that.
The paid campaign growth has slowed down to about 11% versus 26% a year ago. What was the reason for that, and can we expect a pickup anytime soon?
Certainly. See, if you look at sequentially, quarter on quarter from Q3 to Q4, we have net added about 11,000, about 12,000 odd contract if you exclude the Omni, that is on the core search, which is far greater than what we added in Q3, which was 5,000. So actually, the cumulative figure that you see has been impacted by what steps we did not take in FY16 and which we started doing in Q4 onwards. So we believe that campaign growth should also come on track. In fact, it will be far visible earlier than the revenue growth track. So we believe that what we are seeing in Q4 net addition, that should only keep on improving as we move ahead in subsequent quarters. And our belief is that we would have seen from a business standpoint the bottoming out of what we have seen in Q3, and now on we can look forward in terms of growth trajectory, both in terms of number of contracts as well as the total pie out there.
That sounds very hopeful, Ramkumar. Just a word more on margins at 24.7. Will you be able to do better in FY17?
See, as I mentioned, our focus is on scaling up our sales force, infrastructure, continue making the investments that we are making on the products like Omni, etc. Plus, we are going to be spending on the marketing as well of JD Search Plus. We believe that, even though there could be some pressure on the margin in the near quarter and the next couple of quarters, but once the sales and the overall top line growth comes back, we believe margin should come back. So having said that, FY17, we may see that contraction in the margin profile, primarily on account of the investments that we are making, but it won't be, I mean, it won't be a great amount. It will be probably, you know, if I look at normalized basis, what we ended up in FY17, probably maybe at the same level of 100 basis point here and there.
All right, we leave it at that, Mr. Krishnamachari. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, that's the word coming in from Justdial. The market is holding up, but just about really. The mid-cap index will give you a better picture because the index has now dwindled to just a 0.3% gain. We'll take a break for now. When we come back, we will track all the action from the commodities market.